Hello, welcome all, welcome in another important video, and in this video we will write our first ever Solidity contract. So if I scroll it a little bit down, as you can see here in the documentation, they have given suggestions to install all the dependencies which is required to write and compile a Solidity contract in your local machine. But since we are just getting started, we don't want to install this in our local machine. There is another way we can use Remix IDE. Now Remix IDE is specially designed for writing smart contracts, and it has a local version as well as online version. So we are going to use online version. So you just have to click on this link. You will be able to see this type of user interface. So this is online IDE, and before we start writing our smart contracts, let's see what this IDE provides us. So as you can see here, they have given me default workspace, and it has 3 folders with one readme text file. So let's open this contract file, and here you will be able to see .sol file, and this is basically nothing but your Solidity file. So we save a Solidity file with extension .sol. So if I open this, so you can see this is the default code that they have provided us. And if I open this script stack, here you will be able to see there is a JS files. So now these JS files hold code of Web3 library. There has to be some link between the websites and our Solidity contract code. So that gap filled by Web3 library. So we'll also learn how to use this Web3 in our upcoming videos. But for now, we are just mainly going to deal with this contracts folder, right? Then after that, you will get to see there is a tests folder. Again, we are not going to change anything in this file. All right. So this is nothing but our workspace. So now if we want to change our workspace, we can create add button here, and we can create our own workspace if we want. And all created workspaces will be able to see in this drop down list. We can switch between the workspaces according to our convenience, according to our requirements. All right. Also, we can see there is a rename option here. So if I want, I can change its name, and my workspace name has changed. So this is just a file management tab. And if I click tab just below that file management tab, you will be able to see this compiler options. So now this compiler options gives us different versions of Solidity. And as we already saw in our earlier videos, by the time I'm recording this video, the current version of Solidity is 0.8.11. So this all versions you will be able to see here. So if you have any smart contract which is designed on 0.6.1 or any other previous versions, so you can simply select that compiler version and you'll be able to compile your code here. All right. And then there is language option. So since Remix is an IDE, it's not specifically designed for Solidity. It also supports different technologies which are again helping us to create smart contracts. So we can select our language accordingly. Since we are going to create our contract in Solidity itself, so we'll keep this Solidity selected. Then there is EMM version, and you don't have to change anything, just keep this default one. Then there is auto compile option. So let's say if I change anything inside of this contract, so and I don't want to compile this each time. By the way, this is the button we have if we want to compile our code. As soon as I click on this, as you can see, we got this green tick. That means our Solidity code is compiled successfully. Also, we'll be able to see this publish on IPFS, and inside this console, we will get to see some messages. So if you want to automate this process, you can keep this selected. So as soon as I change anything inside of it, it will auto compile and give us suggestions. Initially, I will not recommend you to do this because you will forget all the steps. Keep all this disabled. And let's move on to the next tab. So this tab is your deployment tab. So whatever the contract you have compiled and you want to publish that contract, so you can deploy that contract from here. So let's start with an environment. Here is different types of environment you will get to see. We'll keep this JavaScript VM selected, and then there is an account. Now this is the important part. So Remix IDE gives us different accounts just to test our Solidity contract, because whenever we will create or initiate any transaction, there has to be some accounts linked with our Solidity code, so that our Solidity code will be able to deduct amount from that contract. So this each account will have 100 Ethereum, and this is just demo accounts which we can use just for the testing. So they have given multiple different accounts which we will use in our upcoming videos. Then there is a gas limit. Now gas limit is something that required for mining, and we'll see what is gas limit, what is gas price, and all concepts related to the gas in separate video. For now, let's just keep this by default, right? Then there is some value. So if I want to transfer some Ethereum from this account into my Solidity contract, so I can use and I can put that amount here. And while transferring that amount, I need to choose Ethereum units. So these are different units. Ethereum is the highest unit, and then there is a Feni unit, then Gwai unit, and Wei unit. So Wei unit is the lowest unit. So 1 Ethereum will be this much Wei. And this is really important, especially when we want to transfer or do some transaction between one account to another account. So if we want to transfer 1 Wei, and instead of that we keep 1 Ethereum as unit, so our 1 Ethereum will get deducted. But again, if we have that one Ethereum in our account, then only it will get deducted, otherwise transaction will fail. We'll understand all these units in depth in our upcoming videos. For now, let's just move on. Then there is smart contract. So remember, we have compiled this contract, compile toowner.sol, and that's what we will get to see here. So which contract we want to deploy, that we can select from this drop down list, and as soon as I click on this deploy button, my contract will be deployed on blockchain. So now this is the default blockchain, and this is not the main Ethereum blockchain. So this is just a testing environment. Alright, so if you can see here inside the console, I'll get all information related to the deployment. This much gas got deducted from my account, and if I see here, the amount has deducted from my account. Alright, so here we will get to see some drop down list, and this is nothing but our contract which got deployed, and these are all functions inside of this smart contract. This is the benefit of using Remix IDE. Remix IDE provides user interface to interact with our smart contract. I think this is all about Remix IDE. Now we will start writing our first ever Solidity contract.